verse 10. Ephesians 5, verse 10. Mm-hmm. No, this is something else. This is proving what is acceptable. It says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So it's telling us to approve, to do what's acceptable unto God, and to expose the unfruitful works. So what does that mean? There's, what's the title of this one? The responsibility of Christian fellowship, right? So it's our responsibility to find out what's acceptable unto God, and then when we see unfruitful works, that means we pull somebody's coattail, right? Huh? Is that what it says? Is that what it says to you, Jules? Verse 11? It says expose them, right?
Yeah.
So what's that mean?
I mean, maybe you don't have to make a
No.
spectacle of it in front of the church.
Okay. So, what you say, D?
It says fellowship. In other words, it really means you don't have no involvement with them.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Okay, so does that mean that we don't, a person who's in the church, who's saved, part of a church, membership, and they start wilding out and living crazy, do we just cut off complete fellowship with them?
No.
Okay, see, because you got to watch, because it says have no fellowship with unfruitful what? Works. Not necessarily people, but what they're, don't join in with what they're doing, right? Don't join in with what they're doing. It says have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. So, I come to you, and there's some unfruitfulness going on, right? Some things that are not producing spiritual things in your life. And I pull you up, and we start, and I say something. This is one-on-one. Don't judge me. Oh, wait a minute. How can you expose something if you can't make a judgment call about somebody's works? Right? Right? How quick is the world used to do that? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Only God can judge me. Then they throw this one. You don't have a heaven to put me in? Or hell, right? Nope, I don't. But if you are of Christ, look, let's back up. Let's go back to verse 7. It says, be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord, and walk as children of light.
Verse 7 of what?
Same, Ephesians 5.
Okay.
For the fruit of the Spirit in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. So that means we are proving what is acceptable. We're testing what is acceptable. God, we take a step here, God's pleased. We take a step here, He's unpleased. We say, okay, this is what's good. This is what's acceptable unto God. This is not necessarily acceptable, but this is acceptable because now we found out that we're not partakers of what they want us to be partakers in. They try to be the crabs in the bottom of the barrel trying to pull us back down, right? By them trying to pull us back down, it says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with unfruitful works of darkness. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are manifested by the light, for whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, awake up thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. So what this is telling me is, one, don't regress in your own walk. Don't regress in your own walk. Get to the point where if you can't even make any progress, then just stand still. Stand still. Stand into the place where you're at. If you feel like your walk is hit a plateau and there's nothing going on, have the knowledge that you are a children of the light. Look at verse 8. It says, but now ye are light in the Lord and walk as children of the light. You've walked so far, you got tired, you can't walk no further. Right? You just don't feel like growing anymore, and you just hit this plateau, and you don't feel like reading, you don't feel like praying, you don't feel like doing, but don't step back. You see what I mean? Don't go back. Stay right there. Get bored right there. Pop you some popcorn, put a movie in, and stay right there. You done poured all your liquor down the cabinet, you throw all your cigarettes away. You know what I mean? You threw all your cigarettes away. Or no. Yeah.
I'm trying, it's hard.
It ain't hard. You just said it's the fruit of my lips.
That's right.
You just said the fruit of my lips. Yeah, see? You see how that is?
I won't
But see, but that proves something to me. See, when I'm feeling bad, the test is on me, right? So it's so easy to conform to the test. And you reproving me, exposing my evil tongue, right? But then now that you're going through your test, and your test pops up, now it's for me to reprove your evil tongue. You see what I'm saying? And what that does is that's iron sharpening iron. Then both our countenances will rise. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you know, like she said, you're a smoker, right? You smoke cigarettes, right?
Used to be.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
And like I said,
I was waiting for that.
you know,
Yeah.
it was hard for me too.
Right.
It was hard for me too. You know, I prayed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ask God to deliver me from it.
Right.
That's one of the hard things for me to give up. But the drugs or the liquor, the double cigarettes.
That's
You know?
But check this out, D. Look at this. Look at this. Look at verse 11. It says, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light, for whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. So, what that's saying to me is, this is what that's saying to me, is that when it was done in darkness, and somebody's found out about it, light is going to expose it. We are children of the light.
That's right.
We expose the darkness.
That's right.
Right? This little light of mine. Dr. Mike said he don't like that song. He said, why my light gotta be little? He said, why my light gotta be little? But we expose the darkness. And because we expose the darkness, it's to bring you out, it's to bring the other person out and bring them back into the light. Because when it's unfruitful, it's not producing anything. The only thing that can be produced in the kingdom is spiritual things. And when the flesh is being manifested in a person's life and it's taking the forefront, it's stepping out, it's taking precedent, and all these things are going on, then we must say, hey, you acting real fleshy. Come up out of that.
Yeah. What's going on? That's right.
Don't judge me.
I ain't that no more. Expose me.
First Timothy 5. First Timothy chapter 5. You can't get it? Yes, ma'am.
I'm new at this.
Uh-huh.
Just wondering, like, I'm not a drinker.
Okay.
I do smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Okay.
stop, but that's hard.
Okay.
Is it bad if once in a while I want to have a glass or two of wine, but I'm not seeking to get drunk? I just,
Good question. Good question. Is it bad?
well, I raised a 15-year-old son by myself. I don't have anyone but me.
You raise who?
My son.
Okay. Okay. So, do you drink in front of your son?
Oh, no.
Okay. Would you drink in front of your son? Would it be okay for him?
I just never have. Like,
Would it be okay for him to get old? Do you desire for him to grow up and drink?
I don't think any parent desires that.
Okay, so I'm just using your son so if you wouldn't want that for your son, why would you want it for yourself?
Well, sometimes it gets tough.
It does get tough. And what happens is because we've been so used to reaching for so many other things to fulfill us, to fill the voids, right? And you have to learn how to reach for Christ. For me, I reached for everything to make myself feel good, especially when it got tough. Whether I was bored or whether I had a problem or whatever it was, I reached for a substance to make myself feel better. I couldn't go shopping without getting high.
I don't seek to get drunk, like I'm saying. Like
Right.
I say, okay, I'm gonna get this bottle of wine, then
Shake
I'm
the
gonna
dust
drink it
off.
all, and,
You want to shake the dust off, right? You just want to take the edge off.
and it's usually every maybe once a month, maybe once every couple months. Like I'd rather spend my money on him than go out and get beer.
That's good,
you know?
Jody. But look, check this out. This is what I believe. I believe that if you plug in somewhere like here, the more you're around people like this, and the more you're around Christian fellowship, the more you're around people that are interested in you growing and interested in you maturing in God, you'll get to the point where you'll be walking with God and you'll still reach for that drink, and then one day you'll forget. Because it's like walking with Christ is like this. It's like ice in a glass, right? And you put the ice in the glass of water, and the ice cubes take over the glass. It's so much. But as time goes on, the ice cubes begin to melt. And what happens with God is the longer you walk with him, the things that hold us captive, the things that we reach for other than God, the things that have kept us away from God begin to melt in our life and become smaller and smaller. And then this God becomes everything to us. So as the ice melts, it just becomes a part of the whole glass of water. You see what I'm saying? So I believe that everything that happens, that's going on in a person's life that is not like God, the more they chase after God, those things begin to wither away, and then God begins to take over everything else. That's why people say my cup's running over, because now I'm so full with God that I don't need anything but him. He becomes your joy, he becomes your peace, he becomes your love, he becomes everything.